Hey, what's up, guys? What I want to talk about this morning, or should say tonight, is why the U of I is so desperate to distance itself from the murders of Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan. I feel like they don't care about them. I mean, that's what it feels like because you had them tear down the crime scene a year after the murders, and then you had them keep mentioning it as an off-campus home, their off-campus home, like completely distancing themselves from uh, the killings. You had the university getting all bent out of shape because there was reward posters put up around campus, and they wanted the reward posters taken down because it would interfere with rush week, and they didn't want to lose any precious sorority or fraternity new pledges because there was reward posters asking information of who took the lives of Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. I almost start to feel that the university just views their students as dollar signs because they were supposed to build a healing garden on the side of 1122, but Maisie and Hunter Chapin didn't want that, so they got them to build it there on the campus. I saw that healing garden. It's so tiny and so dinky. And apparently, whatever money was left after the healing gardens, the university kept. And it wasn't just. See, originally the healing garden was supposed to be for uh, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Well, after it was done, it wasn't just for them, it was for the vandals that they have lost. Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan do have like a little plaque, like, like their names on a little strip of a plaque with a pillow down below the bottom. But it's not named after them. It's not the Idaho 4 Healing Gardens. It's the vandals that we have lost. I have never seen a college so disconnected from something this horrifically tragic. They just want to disconnect themselves from the entire thing. Look at Pi Beta Phi. Like a couple of days after the murders, they came out with this very heartwarming post about Maddie and Xana. And then around Christmas time, please come put an angel on the tree for those that we have lost. Those that we have lost. It's like not fair at all. And I mean, if you look at the PCA is full of freaking holes. And I don't think the prosecution is going to have a very good shot at trying this case because there was a lot of mistakes made in the PCA. Like, why were they trying to get Brian's cell records before they had probable cause? And why did Dylan contradict herself like numerous times in the PCA? You know, she opened her door 3 times at night. The first time she opened her door, she heard what she thought was the sound of Kaylee playing with her dog, and Kaylee saying something to the effect of "There's someone here." And when you had law enforcement immediately say, by a forensic download of Xana's phone, we believe that was Xana saying, there's someone here. Okay, so why contradict your quote unquote star witness? Why contradict your star witness? And then you had Dylan state, I opened my door for the second time and heard what sounded like the Xana crying. And then a paragraph and a half later, you know, I opened up my door a third time after what I thought I heard was Xana crying. So which one is it? Did you open your door for the second time in here, or did you open your door for the third time after what you thought you heard it? And where I believe that they messed up in the PCA was the whole part about Dylan seeing a man with bushy eyebrows. That's one of the parts that they messed up at. Because this was before they ever had Brian on their radar, because they looked at his driver's license, and his driver's license showed he had bushy eyebrows. Now, I'm not saying Brian did it. I believe Brian's innocent. DM described a figure 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. So if Brian is not on their radar, and that bushy eyebrows is just a generic description of anybody that would be on the University of Idaho campus, so why put that in the PCA before you even had Brian or anybody on the radar for this case? That's one of the places I think that they messed up at. And I also like to know exactly before they had him on their radar, why were they tracking his car across the country? I'd like to know that. And you had a molecule of DNA on the button snap of the knife sheath. You see, Brian is not in CODIS because he's not a convicted felon. And I don't think Brian did this anyway. I think they're going to have a really hard time prosecuting this case because if you look at the PCA, it's full of holes, vagueness, and half truths. But of course, we've all been told that the PCA don't count anymore. Okay, but the PCA don't count. all the PCA was anymore was just a bunch of pieces of paper you could probably wipe your butt with. I mean, it's true. But getting back to the house, exactly why would you want to tear down the house before anybody woke up? Why would you do that? Why would you tear the house down before anybody woke up? What is the university trying to hide? What are they trying to hide? Is it greed? Is it for money? Yeah, I do believe so. Because they're going to be building low income student housings on that site. But here's the thing with that, though. Is it going to be low income off campus sorority housing or low income off campus fraternity housing? Because we all know, even Olivia Gonzalez stated that the house was an iconic house. And I really like to know what she meant by that. It was an iconic house. And according to her, Kaylee used to dream about living in that house. And her and Maddie checked it off their bucket list because they moved into the iconic home. Well, why is it iconic? Is it iconic because it was a party house? Is it iconic because Sigma Chi basically ran that house? And we all know that they ran the house because when the roommates were gone, they used to throw parties up in that house. So, yeah. Sigma Chi was the kings of that house. And it's truly sad. You had, what was it? Six co-eds, 6 young college female students living in that house. You had Sigma Chi all up in that house when the roommates weren't home and when they were home as well. Sigma Chi used to throw parties there when the roommates weren't home. Now here's the thing. Did they ask permission before they threw the parties at the house? Or was that just a perk of living in the house? We're going to throw parties here. You guys don't say a word. Everything will be fine. If you don't want to be involved in the party, make sure you're not home. And I believe that's how it went down. Because a lot of the parties took place when the girls weren't home. And that's when you had a lot of the noise complaints. Because, and I believe it was one time in one of the noise complaints, Dylan was actually home at one of the parties, I believe. No, that was the night that Xana got pulled outside to talk to Blaker and Payne, and you could see Dylan and her little boyfriend Quinn Kelly up there on the patio, blasting their music and they quickly turned off the music and bolted inside. But yeah, I'm tired of all the PCA talk. The PCA is nothing but garbage. And I was doing some little investigating today on Facebook. The Laramies now have a GoFundMe, and it is being promoted by the Gonzalez's. Yeah, the Gonzalez's have it all up on their family page, and I'll actually read to you exactly what the Gonzalez's stated about the Laramies GoFundMe. Here we go. The Gonzalez family stands with the Laramie family 100%. We have a bond that will last a lifetime. This is Maddie's mom and dad that raised her and took care of her. If you cannot donate, please help us share, share, share. I thank you all so much for all your help and support. Our families have been put in a terrible spot with this change of venue. Please, no fighting and arguing. We need everyone to come together for justice. Christy. They're still throwing a fit that the change of venue happened. They called it the terrible day, the change of venue. The last thing I heard is Stephen Christie is either upper middle class or rich. So why do they need a GoFundMe? Can someone tell me that down in the comments? Why do they need a GoFundMe? Isn't this like their third GoFundMe? Uh, the second one was to pay off uh, Kaylee's Range Rover. And another thing, exactly why was there an 8-hour gap? Why? You don't call the cops for 8 hours. After what you thought you saw a man walking through the King Road home at 4 something in the morning, you don't call the cops? You could have saved a life. You really could have. Now, and Dylan, more than likely, after all this is said and done, will have mental scars from all this. And she's going through tremendous survivor's guilt. Well, maybe you should have did the right thing and dialed 911, because quite possibly you're going through all this survivor's guilt is because you feel bad that you didn't do anything to help save their lives. And don't get me wrong, I'm not victim blaming at all. I'm not. But those two girls know something. Either know something or they saw something that they weren't supposed to see. I believe they knew the killers. Because if it was truly one deranged person, as what we keep hearing, Dylan and Bethany wouldn't be alive right now. Because if you're going into a house with 6 people and you're one person and you don't know whether these people are awake or asleep or someone's up walking around, you don't know exactly what type of environment you're walking into. And I'm tired of all the stalking nonsense. Brian didn't stalk him. There was no evidence of stalking. We heard it from Bill Thompson himself and the judge. There was no evidence of Brian stalking the victims. And don't give me that malarkey that he was planning the murders before he even heard of them while he was still in his room in Pennsylvania. And the whole crackpot comment, he'd been studying forensics for years. No, for centuries. Do you realize how stupid you made yourself sound by saying he's been studying forensics for centuries? I'm sorry, Mr. Gonzalez. You need to take that crack pipe and lay it down. Or whatever you're smoking, you need to take it and lay it down. Because Brian's not immortal, he's not a vampire. So I don't know where you get off saying that he'd been studying criminal justice and forensics for centuries. I don't know where you got that from. Is your brain starting to glitch from the overload of the narrative that you're trying to pump out? It makes you wonder. He's been studying uh, criminology for centuries. Oh my God. That was an open mouth insert foot segment on Nancy Grace. He literally said that boneheaded thing on Nancy Grace. I bet you I know what Nancy Grace was thinking. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is this guy on drugs? He just said that. Oh my. Oh my. Maybe I shouldn't have had him on. Maybe he's drunk. Oh my. That's probably what she was thinking when he said that. Like, seriously, dude. But, like always, guys, like, subscribe, and comment on my channel. Hit that bell notification for any new uploads. Yes, I'm getting hoarse. My daughter brought home bronchitis. Yay, me. That's why I'm getting hoarse and been coughing for, off and on for 3 days. But, I love you guys. I love my community. I love my subscribers. And hey, check out my merch store. I got some cool looking new merch that I designed myself. If you guys are into like evil clowns and stuff like that, I've got an evil clown tumbler. I've got an evil clown travel mug. Check out my merch store. You'll love some of the new stuff I got in there. Well, you guys have a good Thursday. This is Robert with True Crime Podcast. I'm out. Peace.
Stay in the house.